Hello and welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
And this is the class to press that kettlebell behind us right there and plie with those hips, or at least these hips right here. Lauren will take us through the bodyweight warm-up with those feet to start, integrate some kettlebell holds, and stay tuned for a full body strength and stretch routine starting with Lauren's warm-up.
Now. All right, let's start with those feet as we usually do in tonight's practice, with a balance aid at your side or in space. Let's gently and right away think about where our rib cage is, which is over top of our hips, square to the front of your room, your butt cheek slightly squeezed. We'll push down into the floor and find our first controlled rise up. As we're there, think about keeping the legs tight together like you're zipping up your inseam, squeezing your butt cheeks, and again, ribs over top of hips. Then let's slowly descend and let's go right into a double knee bend. So knees bend towards over toes, hips slightly sit back. Next, we'll press through to tall and come to that same rise again. Double up. This time we're going to come down on one foot. So one knee will stay bent on that ball of foot and toes, and then we'll push up and switch to the other side. Let's do that again as we go up. Test, come down on one. Stay here for a second. Keep your straight standing leg hip extended, so nice and straight, a little bit in the forefoot. Take your other leg and push down into that leg. Try not to drift over too much, but just push some weight down. Try to feel those adductors, feel those hammies, and then push down so much you go double up. Let's do that on the other side. Come down, hips extended. Push down into that leg. Feel the cheek, feel the adductor. Drive, drive, drive. So much you go double up again. We'll come down on the single leg, and this time we'll push into those toes to get to a pointy point. A light flex to rounds over those toes. Now, can you keep the toes rounded and lift the foot up off the floor? Then place them down curled, go back over top, double up, switch one last time. Pointy point, curl over. Hold $1 million bill underneath your toes as you lift it up. Then go back over the foot and double up. I said one more time, but you know me, white lies. Nice bend in the knee this time as we sink back into those hips, knee towards over toes, press through to tall, up, control the down, knee towards over toes, press, and one more time finding that two-legged balance up here. Either stay here, or if you want a little extra challenge, could we slowly descend and keep descending and keep descending, pause, and then press back up. And we'll do that one more time. This time we'll make our way all the way down towards the floor. So knees bend, heels are staying high, 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 high. With or without your hands, that soft landing. We'll warm up those wrists because we'll get into our planks in a second. So let's hinge on the hips. I really want you to take your time placing down through the fingers, and then the palm connects to the floor. Palms. Once those palms are down, let's rotate those elbow pits to face the front of the room. Then let's check in with the shoulders, and we're keeping them down for now, out of our ears, engaging those lats. Our core is braced here as we lightly drift ourselves forward, shoulders over fingertips, and then use your fingers to press yourself back. Repeat again, pulling on the floor, drifting forward, and then pushing yourself back using your fingers. And on this last one, we'll pull ourselves forward, keeping the elbows straight, keeping the shoulders down. Use your fingers to press yourself back, push so much you extend, flicking the floor away. Let's rotate those hands 180 degrees and come down so that the fingertips this time land close to our knees, and then the palms connect. We'll gently shrug the shoulders up, and then we'll pull the shoulders down. Keeping the shoulders down there, let's sit back. Fingers are heavies on the floor, heavy fingers. Then use the fingers and press yourself forward. And repeat that one more time. Light sit back. Then we'll start to bend the elbows, peeling the palms away, and flick the fingers, giving that a little shake out. We'll come back to those planks after
the split warm-up. In that position, we were warming up the wrists. I think Lauren and we hope you had that gentle tailbone cow tip. And we need that same tailbone cow tip or anterior tip of the hips here to make sure this is a safe position. We do like pressing that kettlebell from here. Stay tuned for maybe week 6 or 7 of this semester. We want to first address your split. So with hands placed out in front, just very light tension, improve that awareness of a tall spine, chin slightly down. Then let's just add a casual rotation through the rib cage. Perhaps you can do that keeping the head forward as we turn through the torso. And we could also turn the head as a unit with the body. Both are important skills and work on not just one thing, but many things like that long spine. Return those hands to the floor, maybe sit back on those sit bones a little bit more. And now this time, dorsiflex on those ankles so the foot pulls the shin, and without truly moving, pull one heel down into the floor that leg might start to bend on the knee. Hold tension on the hamstring and adductor, and then gently extend it with that length on the hamstring, and you might be able to wiggle that back just a little bit. But are we addressing that tailbone cow shape? If so, let's do the same thing on the other side. Heavy ankle, pull it into the floor without moving, but just to create that nice tension across the back of the leg here, and then gently extend and wiggle it open. One last thing we like to work on in the split is, again, that hinging action forward, avoiding a curling shape, and instead push energy through your heart sternum here towards forward with a little bit of a chin tuck again. And wherever you can get as a comfortable load or stretch across these adductors between the knees and the hips, hang out, and then just walk yourself back up tall. Let's repeat that once or twice. And out of that peripheral vision, I see Lauren gently modifying the feet. I actually think I'm somewhere in between, so I like to tighten up that we're either in the plantar flex or that ballet foot inspired movement, or we're in that dorsiflex movement, foot to shin. Pick one, work on both, and until then, let's stand up, or sit up rather, nice and tall, and come back to that core tension strength with Lauren to prep us for those kettlebells.
So last week we worked on those tension techniques. We're going to continue on that today, as well as adding a little kettlebell to our core. Until then, first, let's start with our plank. Our hands are underneath our shoulders, either from the push-up position or you're already here. Let's extend those legs up. As we do in our plank, we want tension through our whole body, so our feet are rooted, our butt cheeks are squeezed, our legs are nice and tight, our abs are braced, but we're breathing underneath. We're pulling our shoulders down, our chin is lightly tucked to keep our head in line, and we're gripping the floor, and we're also breathing.
How much longer?
And then soft landing. I think it's harder doing the plank when I'm the one.
I agree.
Like when you're the one doing it, not the one talking.
Talking?
Yeah.
Talking's
so let's do it
easier?
again. Yeah, talking's easier.
Oh, okay.
Because I never know when you're going to end.
Oh, okay.
All right, let's do it one more time. All for real count. Here we go. We're up, tension up. Pull the right foot hand to the left hip and the left hip to the right hand. You know what I mean? Make that X pattern for 4, 3, 2. Today, let's stand up using that forward fold. So keep your hands down. Try to walk your feet towards your hands. Now, I want you to be as rounded and flexed through your spine as you can be. Tuck your chin. Pull your shoulder blades together. Engage your core as you pull yourself up, stacking your vertebrae up slowly, one at a time. Head is last to land.
Cool. Nice little warm up there. That could be enough for your workout today, but if you're interested to continue the strengthening component, we have those kettlebells and those bars or those balance aids, so get yours ready as well.
Where are we going first?
What do you think?
I think we should warm up with that kettlebell.
Let's do it.
So if you don't have a kettlebell, but you have a heavy load or an object, a dumbbell, you can use that as well. Or if you want to continue like last week on those planks, go ahead and do a plank right now. If you're with us in this kettlebell, let's get that bell to the rack position, which is the position we press out of. So to do that, we use our hip hinge, either standing over top of your bell or slightly behind it. We grip with one hand, we cuddle with the second, zip up the bell to our body as we place it in that rack position. When you're ready to remove that supporting hand, do so. Hallmarks, vertical forearm, nice straight wrist. Our shoulder is retracted, our lat is engaged. Our ribs are over hips and we're wearing that weight on our core, our butt cheeks, and our lats, just like we prepped in our plank. For 3, 2, 2 hands on, tight to the body, place it down. Whew, shake it out. Let's repeat that move on the other side. Hip hinge, grip 1, cuddle 2, zip up using your hips to get that bell to the rack position. We have the vertical forearm, the nice straight wrist. We're breathing, we're pushing down and out on the floor, keeping the cheeks squeezed, bracing our abs, thinking about one day pressing this bell. Maybe that's today, maybe it's not. For 3, 2, 2 hands on, unzip, place it back down, stand up without. So remember, you could be working on your planks, or you could be just working on holding that bell in the rack position as we progress our pressing skills.
Integrating bar exercises and then that bell. Lauren warmed us quite nicely for those plie movements as part of the foot warm-up, so let's get there right away. In that parallel position, let's just do this once, of the knees towards over the toes and extend those hips forward. Now transfer weight to that inside leg and take the other leg to the front. We'll get into more of these turnouts later, but do a turnout in the hip and keep it turned out as you return the leg underneath. Now it doesn't have to be matchy-matchy, but just repeat the same effort on the other side. Maybe a casual look down to check in on that first position. Now let's pull ourselves down as if between two hot grates as if a toaster and push your hips through, again, over those knees. Repeat as we pull ourselves down, creating that nice diamond shape between the feet, the knees, and the hips, and then push yourself through. For that last one, that third of each repetition, let's sink lower, just like in that toe squat, where if the heels come up, we might get lower, and now connect the heels to the ground, and then fully extend those hips. Tendu, or reach a leg out to the side, landing toe, ball, and heel. Now repeating three repetitions of that squat. Pull ourselves down and push those hips through. Maybe wiggle a little bit to create a little more room in your hips, because I know with that little toe scrunch, I could get a little bit lower while maintaining my upper body upright and extending the hips. And flat feet for this position as we go down one more time, and then extend the hips forward to stand up. Let's do that point action. Return the heel to that first position and find our first balance now on one foot, where we pull up the outside leg with our knee facing to the side and use that bar. Lauren cued this already. Be on the forefoot on the front of that standing leg, and then return, and just with assistance, try the same thing on a balance on the other side now. The foot comes up to the ankle, the hips are forward, squared up, ribs over hips, keep going through that checklist, and then return, and then we can shake and wiggle and get back to that kettlebell.
All right, we're back to that bell. We are going to try pressing that kettlebell today, right now, once, if that's for you. Again, it could be a dumbbell, it could be a kettlebell, but let's press it, let's groove it. That sounds like a great idea. We pick up that bell to the rack position. Next, we keep the shoulder, we're gonna brace our abs and press that kettlebell towards overhead. If overhead is looking nice and good today, which means bicep towards ear, elbows nice and straight, and everything's happy in your shoulders, that's a go-ahead sign to do this. If those things are not lining up, pull it back down. And maybe today you spend your time in your rack position. Toss that bell away and let's groove it on the other side. Pick it up to the rack. Shoulder packed, lat engaged as you press that bell towards overhead. Hold for a second, then pull down through the lat first as you return the bell back to the rack position. Whether it's with your kettlebell or with your imaginary bell, let's pick it up and do one on each side.
Ready.
Hip hinge, inhale. Keep your breath. Use that little hup, pull the bell down, maintaining plank tension, 2 hands, place it down. There's always room to add reps right now. Stick to that single nice rep. Hip hinge, grip, pull to rack, up to overhead, and then inhale, pull down, bracing abs, returning to the rack position, and then placing the bell down. Whew,
one rep, multiple sets, we'll slowly add to that. And until we do, it's time to go back to the bar. Let's turn out those feet to that gently approached first position, nothing too turned out or cranked from the hips or the knees, and then we'll work on those hip circles now. Take a leg to the front, point the toes as available with that tension on the arch, and do a turn in exercise. That's a kneecap towards the midline, and then a turn out exercise, kneecap away from center. Repeat one more time on a turn in, and one more time on a turn out. And now utilize that turnout to take the leg nice and wide to the side. We're turned out, so let's turn it in on the hip. Say hello to those glute meads and mins at the side of the butt cheek, and say hello to them as well as they keep pushing forward but turning out. Repeat one more turn in, and then one more turn out. This is our bar class after all, so let's maintain that turnout as we take that leg around to the back with a straight leg, brush through, heel forward, and continue that leg all the way to the front tendu. Then push your hips forward as that leg goes back, straight leg at the knee, and then turn out from the back to the side, from the side to the front, and then back to that first position. Find the ankle balance again. And this time, stay on that flat foot, hand on the bar or off, Or lift that heel slowly and think of the butt cheek doing the work to propel yourself here and the calf doing all of that balance work. Then with control, little bit of the announcer's jinx there, return yourself to the ground, the casual shakeout, and repeating on the other side. A hip circle, integrating the turnout from that femur at the hip, and then a balance to finish. We're in first. We'll do the turnout. Then again, approach that turn in with straight knees. And then an out. We'll go in one last time, and then yet again back out from the front to the side. And the toe, for the hiccup there, is about in line with your standing leg. Toes, and then turn in. Keep the hip forward as we turn out. Turn in again, straighten the knee, and keep it straight as we turn out. And from the side, we'll take that leg to the back, and then brush the heel forward, that tendu sweep to the front. My hips are going to send energy forward as that leg is going back now. And from the back to the side, from the side to the front, the hips still go forward as that leg goes back. Find your ankle balance again. Hand on the bar, maybe without. Maybe just the eyes closed is a fun drill for that too. But could we find that demi-point or those balls of toes raises? And breathe. And then return to the ground, always with that control piece. And then shake it.
All right, we're back to those presses. If one felt great, let's do two. If one felt like one is good, do one. If the rack hold felt great, do that. If the plank felt great, do that. There's so many options, whatever it is. Hip, assume that your position. Hip hinge, grip bell. Inhale to rack. Hup. One, inhale, pull down. Keep your breath. Hup. Two, inhale, pull down. And then two hands on and park. Whew, very good. It's important to use that breath. Sometimes it can be confusing. Take your time learning it. It will help your presses. Hip hinge, inhale, brace. Keep it. Then inhale and up, two. And then inhale, pull down. Hold it and then place it down. Whew, that little hop or that little is coming from here as we press. So think about that core tension and that little to help get that belt towards overhead.
Little hop, never hurt. We are returning back to that first position, that slight turnout at the hips. This time we'll add some weight transfers, integrating those squats. For right now, just point the leg to the front. Then land toe ball heel and point out that back leg and then return that leg to that first position. Now point out the back, also landing toes, balls, and heel of foot, and push forward to return the leg underneath. To the side. Reach out to the side, land toe ball heel, and point one way, and then pull the leg together, and then push away, accept the floor toe ball heel, and I'll push towards Lauren to return the leg underneath. It's the same thing to the back with a straight leg. Land toe ball heel. Then I'll continue to push forward, my hips forward, my heels together. That same leg then reaches to the front, toe ball heel, maintaining the turnout, and then back to that first position. This time, a little bit different. Let's do a knee bend and reach the leg out front, and then pull back nice and tall. Repeating the same cross shape there, we'll go front to the side, and then to the back. And then for this one, we'll do it one more time to the side. And now on that bent knee, pick up the other leg towards the ankle, and now stretch that leg on a single leg. And can we then find our knee balance, or the passe position with the foot at the knee. Hold for a second longer, return to the floor, challenge yourself on that demi-point, and then our shake, our wiggle, and our repeat on the other side. We're in our first position. We'll take the outside leg and tendu point, toe ball heel. Finish with a toe flick out the back, and then return that leg forward. Then that leg returns back. Toe ball heel, push forward, and return to the first. Then out to the side, toe ball heel. Push to the bar here to return the leg center, and then reach to the bar and continue to push one way and go the other. That last position for this move is the leg to the back. Then we point front, hips forward. Then that leg that just moved returns to the front. We finish with a straight leg out the back, heels together. Now just to do a single leg bend out front, heels connect. Single leg bend out to the side, heels connect. That one leg does the bending and straightening, and that other leg is staying very, very straight. until this moment here where we'll stay on our bent leg, pick up, find the ankle, push the hip through, and as you loud, keep exploring that nice high knee position with the toes pointing down, our knee pointing sideways, the ribs over the hips, and then return to the floor. That's a bar exercise, and now it's time for the bell.
All right, today we're going to finish our bell practice. Well, actually, there might be one more thing. You know how it is. But we're going to hit the peak.
Lies.
I know. We're going to hit the peak of 3 here today. If you're ready for 3 presses, let's do it, or do less, or your other options. First side, inhale, brace abs, pull to rack. 1, inhale, pull down. 2, inhale, pull down. And 3, pull bell down. 2 hands on, place it down. Shake it out. When you're ready, same thing, second side. Hip hinge, inhale, brace. Up to rack, up, 1, inhale, down. Up, 2, inhale, down, and tight everything. Strong foundation to press out of. Pull the bell down. Return it to the floor. Shake it out.
Shake it out. And we're back to the bar. We have one more squatting series here, and I do hope to finish with one more core hold series, so stay tuned for that as well. But this time, it's the fondue-inspired movement where if we pull an ankle up to the pull a foot up to the ankle, both knees bend. Then straighten the leg out front, and the standing leg straightens as well. Then return both knees bending, and then both knees straightening, following that cross pattern again. And then find the back of the ankle, and then a full stretch out to the back. And then one more time, bending and straightening to the side. Now find that ball of foot, and then come together as we land, and find the ball of foot as we stretch. Ball of foot as we land, and then it's out to the side for the same thing. The back of the ankle now, we'll fully stretch the leg out to the back. And last time here, on that demi point to the side, find that passe hold now, and choose your own ending in the balance game. Does it stay on that ball of foot? Little bit of work. Arms in that first, or arms on a hip, or of course a hand on the bar. And then return to that first position and shake. And after a couple of weeks, we still got it.
Still got it.
You still have it, we still have it. Thank you for being here. Let's do the last exercise with the fondue. We're in our first position. We love reading those comments, so keep them coming.
Nice. Hello. Glad to use your kettlebell, which is so great, and that you're here is so great.
Amazing. So pull up, the knees bend together, and then they'll straighten together out front. The knees might bend together again, and straighten those knees with the length of the hamstring, not just those quads, and return to the back of the ankle, and full stretch again. Repeat. This time we'll end up at the side. We'll find those balls of feet again, and we'll land together, and then stretch together out front. Land together, full stretch this time out to the side. It's the final time to the back. I believe that's one of the hardest positions in ballet to achieve. And back to the knees, because we'll stay on that demi point. We'll find that nice balance, choose your own ending. I need to look forward a little bit more here to get my focus. My ribs are over my hips, my glutes are cramping, my knee is to the side. And then choose your own ending, always with that control word as an emphasis. But then that silly shake is also welcome. Shake it, shake it.
All right. Here, as we did on our little balance, we're going to pick your own adventure. So whether it's finishing, holding that bell in the rack position, doing 1 or 2 or 3 presses, or holding your plank, pick what you're going to do. What are you going to do?
I like presses.
Okay, how many?
2.
I'm going to hold the bell in the rack position for the duration of Ian's presses. This is something different. Hip hinge, grip, pick it up, do what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, you have your feet rooted. You have your butt cheeks squeezed, your abs braced, and you're breathing underneath. And then, is that 2?
That was 2.
And then place the bell down. Whew. Finish up. Same thing, second side. Inhale, brace. Punch through that bell to get it to the rack position. Vertical forearms, lats engaged no matter what you're doing. Butt cheeks, smiling cheeks. And then place it down. Whew. Nice.
There we go. That was that last squatting exercise on the bar, but I do hope to share one more leg hold here in the front and then that side position. Return those feet to the first position, and then like we've done throughout, pull up that foot lands on the ankle. Then straighten the leg out front and hold and challenge your balance. Right now that leg might be somewhere around 30 or so degrees from the hip. Then return the knee to the side, keep that toe pointed. As allowed, climb the leg to that knee or passe position. And now if we straighten the leg, we're hoping that knee stays at the same height. We're stiffening the knee, we're pointing out front, holding with tension, and then returning it to the side. Let's return it down to that ankle position and approach those same shapes to the side this time. Out to the side, again, somewhere like 30 or maybe 45 degrees, but keeping those hips level, and then return to the ankle. And then climb as allowed, keep the toes pointed, test yourself with or without that balance aid, and reach, and hold and breathe, and then return to the knee, return down the leg, and finish tall in the first position. Those core holds, the core strength. We have the stability leg, that's a straight one connected to the floor, and that gesturing leg, the one that's going through the bending to straightening positions out front and side. Feet, they're in that first position, so pull up to the ankle and straighten it out to the front. Things to think about here again is the standing hip pushing forward? Is the elevated leg pulled into the socket, maintaining the turn out in the hip? Then return it to the ankle. Find that knee or passe position, and the same thing. Keep the knee high, because our instructor said it's disappointing when it goes low, but be careful on the count of those hip flexors and other body parts. And then we'll go back down to that ankle and hold. And challenge yourself low with no hands on the bar. Build that strength foundation first, pointing out that straight knee, I think, and then back to the ankle. And the final one here is up to that knee, out to the side, and hold. It's the ribs over hips. We're ready to go onto that demi-point rise as a maybe for the next time. Find the knee, find the floor, shake it out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What did you have in mind? A little balance, didn't you? You had a little weight transfer.
Of course.
All right, let's finish this strengthening routine of those hips and that upper body and that core with a light weight transfer. So I like to start in that first position and point a leg to the side. Let's just find a single leg balance, flat foot, stickity stack on top, trying not to lean like a teapot to find our balance. The leg is reaching long and away. Toe ball heel land, pull your bowl of punch onto the next hip and stickity stack yourself there. Nice straight line, reaching long and away. Toe ball heel, pull yourself over. This time let's add a little motion to this leg. Let's turn it in and then let's turn it open. With it open, draw a light circle to the front just off the floor. Nothing else moves. Reach out of the socket as you draw that leg to the side. Toe ball heel land. Up and over, pointy point. Turn the leg in, turn the leg open. Nothing moves, circle to the front, circle to the side. Toe ball heel land. This time we're gonna pull ourselves across on a bent knee. We're gonna point the long leg, keeping the inseam forward to the front, to the side. Hold, could it lift a little higher? To the front. Straighten this bottom knee, then bend it. Send it back to the side, toe ball heel land, pull yourself across. It was on a bent knee the first time, just off the floor. Long leg to the front, then to the side. Next, we lifted it up a little higher, to the front. We added that straight leg, the bent leg extends to be straight from the butt cheek, then it rebends. It reaches back to the side, toe ball heel lands, pull to center. One last balance on those bent legs. Could we lift both heels up? Can we keep them that high off the floor or try really hard to as we start to straighten those knees and feel those cheeks and hold and squeeze and then land slowly, point, step together and give that a little shake out.
You've earned it.
Ooh.
This is, again, episode 2. So check to week 1 or that episode prior to this one for more refinements, like where to put those hands in a plank, how to squeeze your butt cheeks, the parallel lines, the extension we'd like to create for safety and success in your exercise practice. This is our second of 3 live practices each and every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, that's today, and on Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern Time.
On Saturdays, we play with our body weight strength, we roll, we crawl, and we progress towards upside down skills like the handstand. There's lots of progressions along the way, so feel free to join us. Until then, check out our website, check out our Patreon page, and make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, take care.
Stay strong.
And we'll train soon.
Have a good day.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.